Hello, once again, YouTube. Got a bit of a special review to do this evening. This toy, not only is it one of my absolute favourite Gen 1 toys, I adore it, but it came from a very, very special source. It was a gift from someone ineffably dear to me. This is Generation 1 Apeface, one of the Horrorcons. Now, the Horrorcons, for me, are two of the very best Generation 1 Transformers, certainly from the latter lines. They are very gimmicky. In fact, they are composed almost entirely of gimmick. Their gimmick is that they are not only double headmasters, their Nebulon partners become the heads of both their robot and their beast modes. They're also triple changes. They have a beast mode, a robot mode, and a jet mode each. My god. And, you know, considering the ambition of the figures and the technological constraints of the time, they are monstrously successful toys. Not only that, they're very big and they're very weighty. I like that about them. Now, this one, Apeface, is generally regarded as the lesser of the two. The other one is Snapdragon, and I'll link to my earlier review of him, because he's just... oh my god, if you can find a finer Generation 1 toy, then point it out to me, because that toy is stunning. But this guy, yes, he is somewhat compromised in almost all of his modes, but even so, I utterly, utterly adore him. The compromises in this mode, his jet mode, are fairly obvious, whereas Snapdragon is entirely coherent, has absolutely no kibble whatsoever. This guy is pretty much laden with it. You've got very obvious robot fists coming out the back, you've got the beast mode legs there, and so on and so forth. But you know what? I don't care. I think he's great in this mode, and all of his modes, in fact. I absolutely love this toy. I love how dense and durable the plastic is. I love how weighty the thing is in my hand, and he's a damn good size as well. Not as big as Snapdragon, but he doesn't need to be. He's beautiful. And when you've got him next to Snapdragon, he's fantastic. Now, bit of background. Apeface is an odious slob, a bully. Does everything in his power to disgust and intimidate everyone around him, and this leads many to believe that he is just a simple-minded brute. In actual fact, he's not. He's actually very, very, very intelligent indeed, as his stats show when you plug the little Nebulon into his head in robot mode. He has an intelligence rating of 6, which is actually above average. The average for Transformers is 5. And apparently he's actually taken calculated steps to appear the way he does as this frightening, odoriferous creature, as a means of intimidating those around him and making them do precisely what he wants. He's also a Decepticon saboteur. There's a lot of those about. Cyclonus is a saboteur. There are lots of Decepticon saboteurs for some reason. But apparently he's very, very skilled at it. And he appears in various continuities, mostly as a background character, it has to be said. He doesn't really play any significant part in any continuity. He's just one of those grunt characters who appears in the Decepticon ranks at certain points, usually gets shot, and falls over for a bit. That's about it. He does nothing significant, which is a shame, because I think he had the makings of a damn fine character, as did Snapdragon. Anyway, onto the toy itself. As I've said, this mode is compromised somewhat because of the ape mode. Accommodating the ape mode has obviously led to problems. I mean, the biggest being the robot fists, which you can do nothing with. They just sit there like that. At a push, you could regard these as thrusters, I suppose, if you were feeling generous, but again, I don't care that much. I like him a lot. I think as the jet goes, he's very, very nicely designed, reasonably coherent, and I can forgive the kibble. I can definitely forgive that. And like all of the headmasters, he's got a little cockpit for his Nebulon partner. This is Spasma. Fantastic. Fantastic name. Spasma is, well, before he was actually altered to binary bond to Apeface, he was the type of person who would have been preyed upon by the likes of Apeface. He was completely insecure and jittery, and joining the ranks of the Decepticons has apparently allowed him to get over that, or something to that effect. Who knew? Anyway, that is Apeface in his gorgeous jet mode. I like it a lot. I mean, objectively speaking, it's kind of difficult to recommend it unless you're a fan of the Transformers from this era or the Horrorcons. I am a fan of the Transformers from this era. I like the 1987-88 stuff, the Headmasters and Pretenders and all that sort of thing. I like it a hell of a lot. So if you can find him, get him. But if it's the choice between him and Snapdragon, then it's no contest. Get Snapdragon. Undoubtedly, Snapdragon is just beautiful. And then onto his ape mode, and you'll see just how compromised this toy actually is in that mode, I'm afraid to say. Now, that, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, is Apeface's ape mode. And as you can see, he is definitely what you might call a mechanical approximation of an ape. He's definitely no Optimus Primal, that's for damn sure. And yeah, I will accept the criticism that he is composed almost entirely of kibble. Yeah, I will take that. And there you have those rather obtrusive robot mode fists hanging off of his hips. Can't do anything with them, unfortunately. They are the biggest bugbear of this toy. There's just nowhere for them to go. They just hang there. But, you know, I love it. I absolutely love it. For all of its flaws, I really, really like it. I don't know what it is about this thing, but not only is it big and meaty, it's very, very charming. I don't know what it is. It has a certain X factor about it. Maybe it's the fact that it's one of the Horrorcons and it completes the set, but I absolutely love it. I've been actually playing with this one a lot more than with my auto assembly stuff, barring Ratbat. Oh, he's just gorgeous. I love him. But bear in mind, that's not an objective opinion. Objectively speaking, he has a lot of faults. The fact that the ape mode head sits so far back on the body for some bizarre reason, despite the fact there seems to be the beginnings of an aperture there for it, and it would have fit so much better there. Despite the fact that, yeah, most of his body's composed of the jet folded over. The fact that he has robot fists hanging off of his hips. A few issues, but you know, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think he looks really good. Despite all of those problems, I think he looks great. I love his arms. His arms are beautifully articulated, actually, for a Transformer from this era. In fact, this whole mode is. His legs have loads of joints on them. I'd say, in fact, this is my favourite of Apeface's modes. I like it a lot, and if you're going to display him, make sure you've got Snapdragon first. Display them both together in Beast mode. They look wonderful. Right then, on to the final mode, his robot.